Alright, so this is what we gotta do. We see that all these are moving along the surface now, but the arrows are aiming up. We're gonna switch this from bounding box to geometry. It shows us exactly what we got. I'm going to hit F4 to get out of the whatever. Okay, so there's a couple of things we notice is one of these arrows are all aiming up. We want them to aim in the direction they want to go. And they're not animating. We animated these arrows for a damn good reason, and we're going to continue on with that. Okay, so we go, we want to click shape instance, and you want to make sure that animated shape is on. So now we have these things. It kind of reminds you of the Mario Brothers mushroom characters. When they walk, they kind of move like this. Ours are arrows. Okay, theirs are cooler, but for this instance, ours are arrows. So we want to set this particle age so it offsets the animation, so they're not all moving at the same. They're not all animating at the same frames. And we want to add a rotation operator. And we see here that they're just aimed in any friggin' direction. It's a random 3D, it should be. We want to speed space follow, and we're going to have to rotate these guys 90, I guess. I think it's 90. Indeed it is. So if we look in the top, or if we just not look in the top but rotate to the top here, we see now that they're following the direction that they're pointing the direction they're moving, which is good. That's what we want. Okay. So the first problem with this is it's going forever. But the first problem with this is that we see these particles right here intersecting, these arrows are intersecting. We don't want that. And to eliminate that, we're going to bring in another operator called keep apart. Just drop that in. Remember, topology is very important here. You have to keep them in a certain order so everything works well. Alright, we want to make sure that these guys don't intersect. Everything's a task, and you have to go by, each case is unique, so your settings might not be the same as mine. So these figures over here might not be the same as what you'll need. You just have to play around with it. Alright, so individuality. And now we can turn up our particles to see if the intersection is universal. See, these collide here, so you got to play with it more. Mm. The problem is they spawn a little close. I keep it at 13 maybe. A little bit of intersection still happening. Like I said, this is just like something you gotta figure out for yourself. I'm just gonna stay with this. This seems to work all right. But now as they're avoiding each other, they still, aim towards the direction they're going, which is really important for a crowd thing. You don't want like a walk cycle to be sliding sideways or whatever. And we didn't get that just right. I mean, you'd have to play around with it. I'm not gonna run you guys through the mill about it. But you can see how like you could make like a whole bunch of scurrying bugs or I don't know, whatever else comes in big numbers like this. Alright, well, anyway. A little bit of tweaking. Yeah, they look like, cockroaches. You just cut on that light. But they all stay in the direction they need to be. And I would turn down the speed by surface maybe to so they don't move so quick. Because the keeper part is going to add extra speed to it also. Alright, so we will just we'll bring up our layers again. We want to make sure that our particles, we'll give them a separate layer. PFlow arrows, I guess. So we can did I not? Okay, we only selected the ground plane there. Alright. Now we'll call it Scene Assets. Cut that down. Make sure our PFlow is selected. PFlow arrows. Scene assets. Scene assets will do creation, and now, we could add a light or whatever. And looks like we'll drag this off to section 2, part 3. See you in a minute.